Welcome to this second video about my brace concept for conflict resolution and breakaway techniques. In this video, we're going to take you through some of the wrist grabs which you may find yourself in, but the video is aimed at the brace concept. You might already have techniques that you use. Please keep on using them. If they work for you, I'm not suggesting you need to change. This is about the brace concept. Just a quick refresher, brace is for bracing your feet and the opponent's grip. R is for relaxing. A, assessing the level of threat. C, communicating. And E, exiting. Let's put the brace concept into action. If we start with a classical side-on-side wrist grip, where our opponent has grabbed our wrist, to use the brace concept, we first brace our feet. We also brace the opponent's grip. We're now going to relax, so we relax our arm into it and even step towards them slightly. We're going to communicate, and that might be, could you let go of my wrist, please? And they may do it. If they don't, they grab your wrist, that communication may be a little bit harsher, and it may be calling your colleagues for assistance or pressing your emergency alarm. And now we need to exit by the technique you've been taught, or you can follow some of these principles. The principle of exiting from a side-on-side wrist grip is the weakest part of the grip is between the opponent's thumb and finger. So I'm going to turn my wrist so that I get the narrowest part into that gap. I'm then going to go into an elbow to elbow maneuver, so as I come around, it breaks the grip. So let's have a look at that in a little bit faster motion. Hand on, brace. Can you let go of my wrist, please? They're not letting go, so we exit and away we go. From the opposite side, the other hand comes on, the same process. We can now see that grip there. I brace my feet, brace their hand. I can rotate my wrist while I'm relaxing and I'm doing my assessment of level of risk. I can communicate by asking them to let go or shouting for help, and then I need to implement the exit. Some people may have been taught this by looking at your watch or hitchhiker. There's lots of different terminology for this, but in essence, I want to come out where their thumb is, and as I exit, my elbow goes to elbow and I come away. If it was a slightly different grip, where maybe it was a cross and held on, the concept is the same. We brace their grip, we relax, we assess the level of threat, we communicate, and now when we exit, I'm just going to stabilise their hand, because the weakest grip is at the bottom. This time I'm following my little finger, so as I stabilise, I break out and I exit and away I go. So just from the opposite side on there, so we brace, think about my exit, relax, assess the level of risk, communicate, and exit out of the manoeuvre. If they did an inverted grip where their hand was up the other way and it was more difficult, well, the concept is exactly the same. We might not be able to brace on their hand as well, but when we come to move out of it, it is just rotating your wrist and levering out and then backing off. If they had two hands on the one, again, we follow the same concept with this, but this time I make a fist, place it on their wrist, which just drops their shoulder slightly, and when I brace, I come onto my own hand to break away. Again, thinking about my elbow going towards theirs. They may even grab two wrists with two hands at the same time. Again, the concept is the same. I need to brace. I can't brace onto their grip, but what I can do is use that lever technique to get out one at a time. So one comes out, followed by the other, into the defensive, and we exit. So we're always following the brace concept. However they grab me, I don't know what he's going to do this time. 2 hands on one, I brace myself, I'm going to brace into the grip, I'm going to relax, that's really important. Assess the level of threat, it's quite high on this occasion. Communicate, asking them to let go, and then exit, and away we go. I have found, using the brace concept for these wrist techniques, if I learn at the highest level of threat and I'm able to get out of it, I can use exactly the same concept if this was a very low level of threat. I just do it slower and with more care, but I still get out. I haven't got to learn lots of different techniques. It's one technique, and I will adapt the amount of power and speed depending on the level of threat. So just to conclude, we're using the brace concept, which is bracing your feet and bracing the grip. We're then going to relax. By relaxing actually helps the opponent to relax, which makes our exit easier. We're then going to assess the level of threat, and depending on the level will depend on how much power and how much speed we use to exit. We communicate. We ask them to let go. We may need to communicate with our colleagues. And then we exit. When we exit away from the grip and we exit the environment. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave me a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video where we're going to be looking at clothing grips.